Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to go into Unearthed Arcana and look at a fine second level druid spell, Goodberry. This is a Goodberry spell. I always like this spell. So we start off at the bottom here. Zoom in a little bit. There we are. So Goodberry. It's an alteration evocation spell and it's reversible. Level 2, range is touch. Duration is 1 day plus 1 day per level. And area of effect is 2 to 8 fresh berries. Verbal, somatic, and material components required. 1 round casting time, no save. And the explanation is when a druid casts Goodberry upon a handful of... Oops, let me get the shot a little better. There we are. Upon a handful of freshly picked berries, from 2 to 8 of them will then become magical. The druid casting the spell, as well as any other druid of 3rd level or higher, will be able to immediately discern which berries were affected. A detect magic spell will discover this also. Berries with the Duomer will either enable a hungry creature of approximate man size to eat one and be as well nourished as if a full normal meal were eaten, or the berry will cure 1 point of physical damage due to wounds or other similar causes, subject to a max of 8 in any 24-hour period. The reverse of the spell, Bad Berry, causes rotten berries to appear wholesome, but each actually delivers 1 point of poison damage, no saving throw if ingested. The material component for the spell is mistletoe, passed over the freshly picked edible berries to be enspelled. They can be blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, currants, gooseberries, etc. So you can take a berry and you can put this spell on it, and after 1 round casting, the berry will either suffice for a full day's meal for a man-sized creature or heal 1 point of damage. That's pretty good, considering you get this spell at 2nd level druid, which means your minimum duration is going to be 1 day plus 1 day per level, so 2 days you'll have these berries, and a roll of 2 to 8 is 2 die 4, you're going to average 5 berries. That's 5 points of free healing right there that you can pass out in 1 berry packets. So that's kind of neat. So it's a real good way to get low-level healing. One thing I require is that my druid casting this has to have a way to keep the berries from getting squished. So they have to have some kind of small box or tin or something to keep the berries in so that they're protected from normal jostling within a bag. If they're put into any kind of bag of holding or anything, they'll be fine. But again, they have to be in some kind of container. The interesting thing about Goodberry is, of course, the duration, 1 day plus 1 day per level. So if I'm a 10th level druid and I cast this spell, it's going to last 11 days. Those berries will still be fresh in my pocket for 11 days. That's pretty cool. I had a game a few years ago, not all that long ago, where for reasons in the game, I had given out some little small magic jars, preserve jars is what I called them. And except they were really designed to preserve things that you put in and seal the lid, and whatever fresh vegetable or whatever was put in these small jars would stay fresh until the lid was unsealed. They were taken out, eaten, the remainder put back in. It would keep them fresh indefinitely. It was just a nice little low level, here you go, who cares kind of magic item. I gave out 2 or 3 of these to a party. I think I awarded like 300 gold pieces or experience points each for them. And the parties went, oh, okay, great. I had meant it for like mistletoe for the druid and stuff like that. My wife got one of them, and she, playing a druid, said, wait a minute. I'm going to cast Goodberry, and I'm going to stuff them in here. And I went, wait, may you? Oh, my goodness, you can. So before I knew it, she had cast Goodberry 3 times a day. That's the max number of times you can cast a spell at my table. You can only take it 3 times per day. She had cast the Goodberry on her 3 times a day, several times, and had a jar full of Goodberries, something like 30 of the things. So they were around 3rd or 4th level, and they went into the dungeon knowing that they had 30 days worth of food right there, or 30 points of healing right there in the jar. And I tried like crazy to think of a way around my own magic creation, but I couldn't. She used it beautifully in a way I hadn't thought of, which I always enjoy. I love when players do that to me. Also, I had a druid, this was years ago when Unearthed Arcana was pretty new. A buddy of mine was playing a druid, and he was mad at some local, I think it was a local boy or like a mayor, somebody in power. He was mad at him for whatever reason. They'd done something to his woods or something. So he decided to take his blackberries, or Goodberries rather, turn them into bad berries, bake them into a pie, which he'd already established that he could cook and bake and things. So it was kind of funny that he had actually bothered to establish that. He baked them into a pie and then gave it to this guy as a gift. So, of course, the bad berries, he had probably 4 or 5 in there. If he ate the entire pie, he would take that much damage. So anybody who ate the pie would take damage. I pointed out there's a chance other people taking it. My druid pointed out, hey, I'm neutral. If that's the way of nature, that's the way of nature. And I went, well, okay. And I thought it was funny, so I let it go. I had it that the mayor in question got really sick but didn't die, and my player got his little minor vengeance on him. So just a couple of ways I've seen this particular spell, Goodberry, used at my table. Druids should always take this early. If you have a decent wisdom, when you get this at second level, you're going to get 2 other second level spells at the same time. So you'll have a total of 3 second level spells to cast at second level. That's amazing. So you can cast this a few times, and since they last a couple of days. Oh, and I actually said something wrong. I said it was 1 day plus 1 day per levels for 2 days. It'd be 3 days because you have to be second level to cast this spell. So a total of 3 days. So yeah, it's always a good idea to have these particular berries ready to go in your pocket, whatever level druid you are, because if nothing else, they're good to eat as a snack. So there you have it. That's all I've got today on page 121. Just a quick look at our friend the Goodberry. Let me know what you think. Please leave comments below, like and subscribe. Take a look at the Patreon. Help me out there if you can. And I'll see you next time on page 121.